Trixie Messes Everything Up by Sleepy Panda. Chapter 1. The Bird and the Frog. "Where do you suppose Apple Bloom is?" Sweetie Belle asked Scootaloo, craning her neck to scan the crowd of ponies for the other crusader. "I don't know, but she said something along the lines of, 'I'm gonna teach those two a lesson,' before she stormed off in that direction," Scootaloo said, lazily waving a hoof in the direction of the stage while sipping on her drink, which she was levitating from the front of her by Sweetie Belle. "Scootaloo, we have to find her before she does anything stupid," Sweetie Belle hissed. When Scootaloo just shrugged, she growled and dropped her levitation spell, causing Scootaloo's drink to fall and spill onto the ground. This earned the two fillies a few dirty looks from the adults as they jumped out of the way, but neither filly cared. "Fine, I'll just leave you here and look for her myself," she declared, storming off. "Okay, fine, I'll go with you," said an annoyed Scootaloo. "But once we find her, you are paying for my drink." After a solid 15 minutes of searching the area, they finally found Apple Bloom backstage. However, they weren't expecting her to be tied up and fast asleep. What's going on here?" Sweetie Belle asked to no one in particular. "Try asking those two," Scootaloo said, pointing towards two familiar stallions. "Flam? Flam? What the heck is going on here?" Sweetie Belle exclaimed. Hearing their names, Flim and Flam turned towards the fillies. "We can explain," said Flim. The two frauds stood there saying nothing for a couple seconds before Flim nudged Flam in the shoulder. "Wait, you want me to explain?" Flam whispered. "But I don't want to explain." A hard shove from his brother made him stumble a bit. "Fine, I'll explain. This little filly marched into here demanding that we leave Equestria. When we told her to go away, she told Flim to stick his head up his plot. Then she tried to beat us up, so we tied her up." Scootaloo raised an eyebrow. "But why is she asleep?" she questioned. Flim shrugged. "How am I supposed to know? She was probably just tired or something." Apple Bloom chose that moment to let out a loud snore. "Well then, can you untie her now?" Scootaloo asked. Flim and Flam shared a look before Flam nodded and said, "I guess so. Just keep her away from us, will you?" "Fine, just untie her already," Sweetie Belle said impatiently. Yes. Come over here, Flim. Help me untie her. We have to hurry. We'll go on stage in less than 2 minutes." As the two worked on untying the filly, with the remaining crusaders watching on, a loud crashing noise was heard. A second later, Flim and Flam were tackled by a shrieking blue mare. "The great and powerful Trixie demands that you give up your showtime." "No way, you crazy horse!" yelled Flam as he struggled to escape Trixie. That was a mistake. "How dare you!" snarled Trixie. She filed up her horn and transformed Flim into a bird and Flam into a frog. After stopping to catch her breath, she declared, "There we go. Now, to prepare to troll some ponies." And with that, she walked into her trailer, parked off the side of the stage, leaving the Cutie Mark Crusaders sitting backstage in utter confusion. What just happened?" Apple Bloom said, finally waking up. A couple hours later, Flim the bird and Flam the frog were transformed into oranges by Twilight Sparkle. Chapter 2. Glue Sticks and Tape. Trixie watched as Twilight Sparkle's tree was blasted into a fireball. "This is my chance," she thought. "This is my chance to prove to Twilight Sparkle that I am not only great and powerful, but helpful too." Checking her saddlebags once more to make sure that she had what she needed, she made her way towards the burning tree. Up close, the tree looked a lot worse. There was barely any piece of it without any damage showing. She wasn't sure anymore that she would be able to fix this. "Stop that!" Trixie scolded herself. "I am the great and powerful Trixie! I can do anything!" With her newfound confidence, Trixie cast a protection spell on herself before tentatively stepping into the fiery inferno. She immediately regretted it. Choking on the thick smoke, she quickly cast a breathing spell over her. Once she was sure that the spell was working properly, she dug through her saddlebags and spread out her supplies: a comb, a roll of tape, and a glue stick. Lifting the comb with her magic, she quickly combed her hair. If she was going to do anything good, she might as well do it with perfect hair. After all, if a stray hair was to come out of place, it could be ignited by the flames, and then she would be bald for a long time. She would have to wait until she got home later that day to regrow it, and when the crowd of ponies surrounding her to congratulate her on her good deed, she did not want to be bald when her picture was taken for the newspaper. Lowering the comb back into her saddlebags, Trixie picked up the tape and the glue stick. Seeing a small hole in one of the library's walls, she trotted over and ripped a piece of the tape from the roll. Not knowing how tape worked, she uncapped the glue and applied it to both sides of the tape, then levitated it over and patched up the hole. "My work here is done," said Trixie, feeling very proud of herself. "I have repaired this establishment." Head held high, she pranced out of the building, leaving the tape and glue behind. But when she stepped out into the streets, she was shocked to find that there were no reporters waiting for her. "But I've just saved this tree!" she exclaimed angrily. When no pony replied, she angrily used her magic to chuck a stone at the treehouse. The library chose that moment to completely collapse into a pile of burning splinters. And of course, the reporters chose that moment to arrive. As the reporters surrounded her, demanding to know why she burnt the place down, Trixie lowered her head and sighed. "Maybe next time," she said sadly.